Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and we're going to start a new tutorial using the Graphic 45 Deluxe Collector's Editions for an ABC primer. And this album is going to be 10¼ inches high by 8¼ inches wide, and it's going to have 2¼ lines. So I'm going to be using Tamara Merrill's from Country Craft Creations. I'm going to be using her lay flat cover method. Now you can go to Tamara's and watch hers. I'm just going to try to do my best to create it. I did do one sample one for myself, just give it a try. So I'm new at it, but I want to tackle it and do it. So I have cut one chipboard at 8 wide by 10 inches high, one at 7 15/16 inch wide by 10 inches high, two at 2¼ wide by 10 inches high, and one at 4 inches wide by 10 inches high. Now I have pre-covered 3 pieces. I've done the 8 by 10, the 7 15/16 by 10, and one of the spines. So that was 2¼ by 10. So for the 8 by 10s, we're going to call these both 8 by 10s. We used 10 inches wide by 12 inches high cardstock. I used American Craft cardstock in black. It is a textured cardstock. You can use whatever favorite cardstock you have. Tamara, I believe, uses a linen cardstock that I want to say Authentique sells, but I'm not sure. I have so much cardstock that I am not purchasing any at this time. I literally have probably 10 full packs of the American Craft cardstock. I literally just opened this pack here, and I probably got maybe like 5 of these and 5 of the whites in my stash. So I am not going to be purchasing any cardstock to make this. I will use what I always use. I don't have too much trouble with the American Craft cardstock, so whatever your preference is, go ahead and use that. Now I have, with all of these, I pre-mark them, and I just do a line with my ruler. For the main pieces, you're just going to do 1 inch edge, and then for the spines, you need a 1½ inch on each of the sides. So I'm going to call those the wings, and then 1 inch top and bottom. So I just go and mark with my pencil. It makes it easy for me. However you want to do it, you can do it. I used to use my ruler and hold my ruler right there while I did it, but it's so much easier just to mark it. I don't have that other thing in my way. But however you want to do it, whatever your preference is, or whatever makes it easiest for you. So we're going to go ahead and do these two. Now, these other 2 pieces, so the bigger pieces, were done exactly like we're going to do the 4 inch. And we're going to do the other spine just like we did this one, so we have the wings on the side. So we'll go ahead and start with our 4 by 10 piece here. And this is just score tape that I've pre-put on there. I like to use glue, but Tamara used, she actually used filled them with the score tape. I'm a glue person. I trust liquid glue more than I do tape, but we're gonna kind of do a combo here. But she did use just score tape. Okay. And like I said, you might want to go watch her, and you might like the way she did. And the reason she said she come up with this idea is because during her classes, the people with the arthritis were having trouble connecting those, doing that long pieces that you glue together. You get one big sheet and then you start turning things over. And she noticed that people with arthritis were having trouble doing the albums like that. So she went home and worked on creating something a little bit easier. Now, I haven't tried and tested these for long-term use, but I'm sure she has. So I haven't, she came out with this quite a while ago, and I haven't heard anything bad about them, so I thought I'd give it a try. So I did, like I said, I made one test one, and it went pretty good. I'm just folding over and kind of creasing that to get myself a line. Get the used to being folded, break it in a little bit. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come in, and you can see where folding that over, it's made like little squares there. I'm going to come in and just almost up to the corner, but not quite. Just cutting those squares off at this time. Just like that. Now, I know a lot of you know how to do these, and that is great, but we always continually have new people joining in and learning. So we like to give them the opportunity to learn. And so if you would prefer not to watch the building of this, then you can go ahead and go to the next tutorial, because this is basically, I'm going to build, I'm going to cover the album, the chipboard, and then I'm going to add my spine pieces. So if you want to skip this part and go further into the video, that is fine. All right. And I'm just going in and cutting those down a little bit on an angle. Make sure, I think we got all 4 of them now. Let me see here. Did we get this one? Oh, yeah. Okay. I like to start with my shorter edges, but you can start with whatever edge you want. I'm going to put a little bead of glue down in there to soften that crease a little bit. I'm just going to press that down. I run my little tool right along that edge there gently. This is just an old, it's almost like a kitchen scraper tool that you buy. This one just happens to be from my original slice machine that I haven't had for years. It was like one of the original die cutting machines that came out years and years ago. And that tool is so handy that I just kept it, and that's what I use. Cricut makes a nice big tool too. Well, anything that can use just to kind of help press and flatten. So it's not have to go out and buy a bunch of new tools and stuff. This is just art glitter glue. It is my glue of preference. I found that it glues just about anything I have to glue down. I don't use it for laces and things like that, but pretty much anything, paper, or I've glued down metal pieces with that. What else have I glued down? My stuff that I put in between for my shaker cards. It seems to do pretty good with that. Okay. So again, the cover piece for this was 6 inches by 12 inches, and it was a 4 by 10 inch panel. There we go. And that is covered. So now we'll do our other piece, our winged piece, our spine. And again, each side of the spine, so that I'm going to call it, like I said, the wings are 1.5 inches. And then the other is 1 inch. So, and I had the tape put on ahead of time because I didn't think you needed to watch me put tape on. So this, I believe, is 2-inch wide tape. I do have some 6-inch wide tape, but this was right here handy for me. So all right. So we're just going to kind of put this over. Get it down in here. Like so. Go. All right. So, like I said, I've only done one of these, so I'm not as familiar with this method as I am the original method of gluing a bunch of sheets together for the length you need. But it seemed to go pretty good. I like learning new methods too, because sometimes you find that is, a nicer way to do things. So I like trying new things. I kind of just waited to see if I had heard anything, about it that people didn't like, but I haven't seen or heard anything about, any faults. As I say, now we're going to cut off these rectangles just like we did the squares on the other. And come up almost to that corner there. Same process. Just a rectangle instead of a square. I have quite a few albums, but I stopped making them for a while because I like making them as gifts for people and stuff. But I've got so many albums that I made just because I wanted to make albums, and I haven't used them. So I either got to start using them or figure something else out. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the same thing. Now on the wider parts themselves, I don't want to take a lot off. I just want to take a little bit off of there. I don't want it too deep in there because those have to, that's what's getting glued onto your other pieces to hold them together. Okay. All right. Okay, go. Oops, let's do this one here. This one. Get myself all turned around here. Get myself all turned around here. All right, I think everything is angled. Looks pretty good. All right. Pieces out of my way. Perfect. And again, I'm going to just, for this, we leave the panels, and we're just going to glue down the short ends here. Just like that. Just like that, nice and easy. Yeah, I thought, well, I'll get a few of the pieces glued together, so all they have to do is watch me do a couple instead of all of them. And we'll make this a little bit shorter of a video. Okay. We want our 4-inch by 10-inch piece to our right. Then we're going to have one of our spines. Then we want our 7 15/16 is going to be next. another spine, and then our 8 by 10. Okay. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to add glue to that. Now you can add tape to this. I'm going to stay about 1/8 of an inch from that edge on the right hand side there. So I've just folded that in on itself like that. And a little bit closer there. Okay. All right. And we're going to go inside to inside. So my inside is going to go up against here to the inside. I want this about, oops, just smeared it, about a 1/16 of an inch down from that other edge. I'm just kind of, I'm going to press that. Come in here with some paper towel, wipe away the excess glue, press that. So inside to inside. I accidentally on my other one glued inside to outside on one. The last piece I had to do. I was like, oh man, don't do that, right? So there we go. Just like that. All right. It doesn't matter if my writing's upside down. That doesn't matter. This book has no up or down right now. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold this in like that. Wait a second. You're stuck to me. Stay again. I'm going to stay about 1/8 of an inch down. Now this method might not seem as easy for some. If you like the other method, you can cover the other method way. I just thought I'd try this and see if I was happy with it. Always nice to see. All right. Again, inside to inside, about a 1/16 of an inch down from the edge of the other one. I'm just going to stand them up because I want to keep them even, like that. And I'm going to press that. Wipe away the extra glue. Okay. Here. Like so. Next one, another spine with our wings. Fold in. Okay. About a 1/16 of an inch, or about 1/8 of an inch, I mean, sorry. All right. Whoops. Didn't hurt, doesn't hurt anything. I just got a little bit on the inside there. My glue is about ready for a refill, I think. All right. Okay. All right. Our big panel, inside to inside. About a 1/16 of an inch down from the one on the back there. Like that. Put that down. Glue. Just giving it a good press each time. And then we'll Open it up. Set down good. Looks like they're sticking together good. Then our last piece, which is 8 by 10. We're going to put that in. Seems to go pretty good, I think. I didn't, other than when I did where I accidentally glued the front to the back. As long as I keep remembering inside to inside, it helps me. Because I haven't built a whole bunch of them, so you're more likely to make those mistakes when you're just learning to build them. So just keep telling yourself inside to inside, and you probably won't make that mistake. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make this my back side again. We're going to bring this one in, my inside facing inside, about a 1/16 of an inch down from that edge there. Yeah. Put them on the table together. Keep them even so I don't get off. There we go. Don't need them going crooked on me. Get that little glue off of there. All right. Open. Press that wing in there. And that is it. That book is built. So I'm going to let it sit a few minutes while I go over the other parts with you before I start messing with this. Just let it sit and dry a bit. In addition to that, I have cut, sorry, I lost a piece here. There we go. I have cut, we're going to have 3 pages in this book, not 4, 3 pages. 3 pages in the book. Each page will end up being 9 3/4 inch high by 7.5 inches wide. So you're going to cut 3 pieces of cardstock, 9 3/4 inches high by 7.5 inches wide, and you're going to cut 3 pieces at 10 3/4 inches wide or high by 7.5. So 3 at 9 3/4 by 7.5 wide, 3 at 10 3/4 high by 7.5 wide. On your 10 3/4 side, you are going to score a 1/2 inch on each end. Go ahead and show that. So, on the 10 3/4 side, this one's already been scored, so I'm just going to show you. 10 3/4 side, you're going to score 1/2 inch. And I like flipping over and doing the 1/2 inch on the same edge, so then I know. I don't usually go 10 and then 10 1/4. I usually always just flip it, so I'm using that same quarter. 1/2 inch. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on each end. And then we're going to glue those together to create our 3 pages. You can use tape. I've already got 2 built, so they're ready to go. And they create a pocket. So, and I got some other things planned for this book, but it is going to have 3 pages that will flip. And I want to make sure my textured side is out. So I'm just going to put that on there right up to that top edge there. There we go. And it just creates a nice little pocket. Nice little pocketed edge. Okay. This one. And then we will create tags and stuff that slide in here. So we're going to bring this up and close that like so. Just like that. And again, you do the 3 the same. Just score them at 1/2 inch each end on the 10 3/4 inch one. And you'll create 3 of those. And then we have our hinge. Now our hinge is 6.5 inches wide by 9 5/8 inches high. I've got just a sample here. This is 6.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to show you how I scored it. Now, again, this is just a sample piece. So you're going to cut your cardstock at 6.5 inches wide by 9 5/8 inches high. And you are going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 2, 2 1/2, 3 1/4, 4, 4 1/2, 5 1/4, and 6. So what you end up with is you end up with 3 3/4 inch hinges. Okay. So you're just going to fold them. So your 3/4 inch pieces will be a mountain, and then your 1/2 inches will be the valley. Okay. So you will end up with that. Just like this here. 1, 2, 3, and there's a 1/2 inch between each one and a 1/2 inch wing on each side. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to lay a piece of tape in here to hold these while they dry, and we'll glue them. So in the 3/4 inch pieces, I'm laying tape just on 1/2, okay? And then in addition to that, I will do glue. You're not going to put anything on your 1/2 inch edges. So I'm just going to open that. And I'm going to add glue. So, and the tape basically helps to hold while the glue dries. Okay. You can use just glue if you'd like. I have done that many, many times. Many, many times. But I thought for this video we would do the okay. So that's 2 of them. We got 1 more here. 1 more. There we go. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So this is the other side. The 3/4 inch. You could put it on this side too. It doesn't really matter. All right. Close that up. Now because this is a smaller spine, it kind of wants to close up on itself, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. So we're just going to press on that. So then it all looks like 1/2 inch pieces there. This way. Fold them this way. Do the same thing. All right. Just like that. 3 hinges. Okay. am going to add a little bit of tape on there. I think maybe just a couple strips, and then I want to use glue. So I'm going to do tape, tape. Some people do a whole piece of tape. And then I'm going to do tape. Kind of go over basically the seams there. Oops. Got a little piece hanging out there. I don't want that. There we go. Might hear my husband talking. He's talking to the dog. All right, so let me go ahead and grab our book again. Okay. Let's give it a little try. I'm going to see if I get nice. Just like that, no problems. All right. So again, we want our 4-inch side on the right. Our hinge is going to be placed on this spine here. And it should fit just about perfect. And I should have about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch, or 1/4 of an inch, top and bottom. So I'm going to bring in my ruler, and I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to give myself 1/4 of an inch on the bottom, and I'm going to give a pencil mark, just so I keep that level, okay? Let me see what we are when I get that on there. How much do I have? Okay, so not quite. So I'm going to go just a little less than 1/4. There we go. And then we should be about even. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm going to pull the tapes off of these, add my glue, and I'm going to center this on there. So I'm just holding that with my fingers. We're going to just add some glue here. Like I said, it will be right on that spine. And you know what I want to do before that? Let me wipe this off. I'm going to cover that with some paper. Sorry. So I'm going to cover this with some paper, some cardstock. Let me measure that, and we'll get that cut. So I want to be a ways away from here. So I want a good piece. Let's do it. Okay, let's do. I'm thinking 6. Yeah, we'll do 6 inches. That'll be one piece of cardstock. And then we'll be good. I can get 2 pieces out of one 12 by 12. So I'm going to cut this. I have a nice big cutter, but it's hard to find the 6-inch mark on it, so I always just mark my paper, cut it. I'm going to cut this down to just under 10 inches, like just under 10 inches, and then I'll cut up. And then 6 inches. All right, here we go. Okay, so it should be like so. Yes, it literally is just under 10 inches. Okay, right. I'm not going to tape this. Just going to, whoop. Sorry about the language if you can, about the language if you could just hear that. The dog just ran in the road. Dog just ran in the road. I'm gonna put tape here. So how I want to do that? Tape. Sorry, he threw me off. He threw me off. Tape there. Tape there. And I'm going to add glue too. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Tape. I don't care if it's crooked. It doesn't matter to me. Just as long as it holds what it's supposed to hold. All right. There we go. Just have to remember that I didn't cut those. Like I said, it's been a long time since I did an album. It shows, right? But nothing to panic about, nothing to get concerned about. All right. Let me actually put it on this. There we go. This will be easier. That way I know the glue is on where I want it. I always like making albums. I like figuring out the different flips, and I actually like to do little pop-up things and get a little more elaborate with my albums. And especially for children, you know, I made one from one of my nieces and one of my nephews. And little things that they could do inside there. So, okay, and I'm just pressing on that. There, that is there. You can see it creasing a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to slide this down. Do the same thing on this edge. And then the rest will get covered up with our decorative cardstock. But we want to make sure everything has a good amount of cardstock covering so it looks nice. Right? This album here is going to be similar to my very first album, which was a recipe album. And so the size and everything is the same. The layout's going to be similar, but I want to create actually more room for photos and not so many pockets and stuff, because it is for a teacher. So I thought she would utilize more photo space and where she might be able to journal and stuff instead of just pockets and things. But I will have some pockets probably. So it's going to be same size as that one, and I'm going to do a couple things the same, but like I said, I want to do more flips and stuff instead of pockets. So there we go. That. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and pull in our spine here. Or I mean our hinge. And try again. Again, I'm just going to grab those three my fingers, add my glue to my taped edge there. Get a nice amount of glue there. Now these hinges should be just nicely small enough to allow our pages to slip right on without much trouble. At least the test fit they did. We'll see if that worked. So again, this hinge is 9 5/8 inch high. I don't have my pencil mark there, but I know about where I need it to be. Okay. Yeah, it's just under 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth there. Okay. Just like that. Just pressing those in there. Make sure that everyone gets pushed down good. Just like that. Okay. All right. Now for the pages. I am going to add 1/2 inch score tape to the tops and bottom of each side because these are 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to have 1/4 of an inch from the base of this book here. So it's going to be up 1/4 of an inch. You're going to have 1/2 inch tape at the top. So I'm going to do it right along this top edge here. Let me put a piece of, here, I'll just put this here so you can see each edge, okay? Just like that. I'm going to line my tape up right at the very top edge, like that. Just like that. There we go. And we're going to do it to this side. And if it doesn't go all the way to the end, that's no big deal because I am going to put a little glue on this also. And that allows me a little bit of time to maneuver if I have to because the glue is slippery. Okay? So if it doesn't go all the way to the end, that's no big deal. It's not going to let loose. Okay. We're going to do the same to all 3 of these. Right along that top edge. Whoops. Okay. Flip over this way. So these actually go together pretty good. And then once I'm done with the hinge, then we'll be done for our tutorial for today. And then we'll go to the next one. Let me get this a little bit shorter there. Okay. Whoops. Try to cut on an angle. So once we get this down here, then we'll be done for the day. And I hope you give it a try. I think it's going to be a fun album. I really do. And you don't have to do school theme. You could do whatever theme you want, or you could do a recipe book, or just go look at my other one, that tutorial actually shows how to wrap the pages the other way. All my other albums are like that, where they're wrapped the other way. So, ooh, that was perfect. Right at the end of my tape roll. Look at that. Perfect. All right, I'm going to give these a good press. Don't want the tape coming off. I want to make sure the tape is... Another thing with tape, too, is you want to be careful not to get your fingers all over it, because a lot of times that's why it fails, is if you get your hands, even if they're freshly washed, always have oils on them. So we'll start with the inside one here, and we're going to do a test fit. I'm going to make sure it slides on easy. There we go, nice and easy. And then I'm going to release this a little bit here. Actually, let's go ahead and release it. I'm going to put my glue on there, and I will, if you don't want to do the glue, then you can do a partial release and peel it out if you'd like. Put that right on there, both sides. Like I said, it gives you a little bit of extra time to slide it on there. Oopsie. Get it down in position. Again, I don't want it to go all the way down. I want it only a ½ inch. So I'm on there. I'm going to touch where I can see that shiny there. The tape is shiny. So there I am. There. Okay. Like that. And then this side should fall right into place. There we go. Okay. Just like that. Art glue dries clear. So there we go. Let's do a test fit before I peel that tape off. And you always should test fit each one just in case there's an error in something. Okay, I got a nice, it's not too sloppy, it just slides on it nicely. You don't want it too loose. There we go. And the glue is only on the tape. Like I said, it just gives you that little extra time to slide it around a little bit. You can do just glue if you'd like. Okay, I'm going to slide that on down to where I can see where the tape stops. Here, I'm going to get my top lined up first. And I can see the shiny part of the tape, so I know once I get that there and there. Because I lined it up with my top piece, I know it's a ½ inch. Okay, flip this way. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Test fit. Nice and easy. Peel, peel. And if you've never done an album, then come on in and try it. I do have a couple easier ones, but the nice thing about watching a video and doing an album or anything else is you can stop and watch it as many times as you want or need to until you, I mean, I've watched videos many, many times where I've had to back it up and go, okay, what did you just do? And then I watch it again. And if I need to watch it again, I'll watch it again. Because sometimes they flip stuff so fast that you don't catch it. All my pages are lining up nice and even. At the bottom there, you can see they're all even. Again, just like that. A little bit of glue on there. Get that wiped off. If you do see a little bit of shiny, we'll be able to get that off with an eraser. That might be glue or it might be the little tight. Nope, it was glue. But if you do end up, sometimes you'll have, and that was glue too, a little bit of extra tape or something that you can see. You can just take an eraser and we'll get that off of there. Okay. So that's the start of our book. We have our base built and our 3 pages in on our hinge. So that's it for today. And thank you for joining in. If you're a subscriber, thank you so very much. I'm very appreciative. And my numbers are growing slowly, but they're growing. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. A bell will pop up. You can hit that bell and you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. As always, I wish you and your family many, many blessings. Love you all. Hugs to you. Bye-bye.